One of the members asked me to make a video about dating married men because I said the good guys are already married. And it is true that if you get divorced in your 50s, what you will find out there with the men is they're mostly riffraff, like they have jobs, they work out, they have their own house, they're divorced with kids, they're responsible, but there's something emotionally off that they are not good relationship material in my view. They're a little bit flaky, a little bit like low emotional intelligence, I would say. And then when guys get older than that, to me, they're just not sexually enticing enough as they've let themselves go. I wish that more older men would look like Robert Kennedy looks at 70. He's quite a good example. But he's an exception. So a lot of these men are just, not worthwhile. So therefore, it's a good question about dating married men, and I would really advise against it. This is why. Number one, I stand for living an authentic life, and being with someone that's married requires a lot of deception and deceit on your part as the woman, on his part. And you're starting a relationship with someone who is deceiving his wife, a liar, and he has to craft all kinds of excuses to try to see you. Number two, you will have limited access to him. He will not be available on weekends, evenings, holidays, birthdays, and you cannot go to his house. So he will be very limited access because his family will always come first. Only like 2 or 3% of men who have affairs leave their wives. So it's a recipe for emotional chaos, emotional drama, and a lot of heartache. A lot of heartache. Um, I would say that it's very bad for any children that you would have with a guy like that because he's not going to be there for you. He's not going to be there for you when you want him there, and you're basically the side chick. So I think that's a recipe for heartache and deception. Two things that I'm against. I stand for authenticity and being met and being loved. I don't want to go into drama and chaos. But there are people who do, and maybe, that's all the intimacy they can handle. And then also, I know so many women who were like devastated and became alcoholics when their guy that they had the affair with wouldn't leave his wife. The woman's always trying to get the guy to leave the wife. Remember Chris Watts? The Nicole, I think, was the woman, the mistress's name. She kept trying to get him to leave his wife, and she didn't want his kids either. So he ended up killing the wife and the kids. It got pretty nasty. So keep that in mind. I don't really see what the benefit would be, but what do you think? I want to hear from you if you've ever considered it, if you've done it. Oh, one more thing. I was talking to a guy once that I met at a personal development seminar, and he told me that he had had an affair with his secretary, and she was so in love with him. And he said that he really didn't want to deal with her. Sometimes he would text her back, but sometimes he wouldn't because he really didn't care how her day was. He just wanted to fuck her. He didn't really care about her. He was committed to his wife and their child. So you will never be loved. You will just be used. These women will just be used as an ejaculation device, and then these women fall in love with the guy, and the guy's not leaving his wife. So it's like jumping into a fire, like you're gonna get burned, your heart. Plus, it's not fair to the wife. I myself don't even flirt with married men. I would never date a married man. That's just my personal beliefs. I don't want to shame anyone who asked the question, of course, but it just goes against everything that I believe in. Um, and then also, we hear stories about married men who leave the wife, get married to the mistress, and then cheat on the mistress because guys who cheat, cheat. They'll cheat on you too. So, those are just some of my thoughts, but I want to know what you think. And please keep sending me ideas for videos.